Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is March 3rd, 2021, and this is episode 218. We're going to take a look at Nocterra. This is an Image comic. This is the first of its kind at $3.99, a whopping $3.99. Thank you, Image, for keeping it at least $3.99. This is written by Scott Snyder. Many of you may know him from the mainstream, DC and Marvel, but he's going out on his own, striking out on a sci-fi thriller here. Main character here is Val. We see her on the cover. She's actually what they call a ferryman, a truck driver that takes people and goods from outpost to outpost. And what we have here is her world has been encompassed by sheer darkness. It never gets light anymore. It kind of just happened all at once. And the terra around there, plants, animals that are exposed to total darkness for 10 hours, start to change and mutate into hideous creatures. And we're going to take a look at this. It's pretty good. This is a strong recommend on this. Okay, Scott Snyder is the writer on this. He always said he had a fear of darkness, and his son is going through something similar right now. Tony S. Daniel drew the cover. We'll take a look at that, and did the interiors on this particular issue. There are variant covers on this. The colorist is Tomu More, and letters is by And World Design. The editor, I'm going to just mention this because it says We Dennis. I don't know if that's correct or not. Or Will Dennis, I'm sorry. Will Dennis. And just want to say that this is outstanding layout, great storytelling all the way through. And I think the editor really had did a nice job on this as well. So it starts out, Val's a little kid. We find out she's been adopted. She has an adopted brother, Emery, as well, and they live with Miguel and Catherine, but it doesn't last too long. They're living in Denver, Colorado back then. Suddenly, things start to go dark, and school is let out early. Their parents come by, pick the kids up, and it's just getting darker and darker, and they don't know what's afoot. And they actually call it went totally dark at 1 p.m., but they call it 13 p.m. Now, here's your trope from Image. They love the blank black page, and usually with microfiche font, but this time at least they made it a little bigger. And what I used to call it to my kids, especially in the AM, it's 100 o'clock, go to bed, but they have 13 p.m. here. So they're speeding off. She has drawn a drawing, as they say, youngsters. And Emery has painted the sun brown because things have gone dark. So then we go to the future here, and she's actually truck driving now. She's got a trailer load full of people, and they're starting to come up what they call, I think they call like night bugs or something like that, which are smaller creatures that have mutated from birds and squirrels and whatnot. And I guess when they mate, they make another creature that's undefinable. You can't tell what it was before. So we got that going on. So here's the inhabitants, and what we hear her say over and over again is sit and stay lit, meaning they have the lights on and all in here. So basically they're going from outpost to outpost. They're heading for outpost 41. Now they start getting hit by these bugs, these night bugs or whatever they're calling them, night birds or bug birds. Okay, so maybe they mutated with a bug and a bird, and I don't know. So they use their high beams to kill them off or scatter them or whatnot. One of the inhabitants panics and opens the door and is immediately caught by one of the giant bug birds, and they're apparently floating around this thing all over the place. So she has to go back out because she can't lock down the trailer now, and so she stops the vehicle and goes to the back to close the door, and she's shooting off all her fireworks, and she gets grabbed in the meantime, and she's able to pull out something that Emery her brother is like a chemist who's figured out some certain things. And she sees the things going in there. She's able to stop them. Great stuff. I don't want to give too much away. And they do end up making it to Outpost 41, which was a city that made light bulbs before. And they were just happened to be having a festival to celebrate their 100-year anniversary when the sky went dark. So they were set. Now, they said the big cities, they lost it pretty quickly. It was the smaller cities that lasted longer, but they're getting knocked out one by one as the human mutants seem to be almost unstoppable, and maybe they're using a lot more brain power than just the regular animals. So her runs to these different outposts are getting shorter and shorter. She just found out that Tipton has fallen. It only took 2 minutes for it to fall under a human hive that came in. So she's collecting money because apparently her brother Emery went off in the woods for too long and he contracted this disease that turns you into a mutant. Now, there is a chance that if you get the right dialysis or the right sun lamps, you can beat it, but once it spreads past the gums in your mouth, you're a goner and you'll switch to a mutant. She gets approached by a couple, a grandfather and the granddaughter, that say they know one of these bunkers. There's supposedly all these bunkers out there where the rich people are hiding out and surviving, and they want to hire Val to take them to this particular bunker, and she'll say she'll pay them handsomely. So Emery's been found out that he has the disease, and they're coming to get him. So she thinks about it. First she says no. She thinks about it. She takes the grandfather up on the offer once she sees Emery's gums are getting worse. And off she goes with her new cargo. And she's got Emery going along with his special helmet on as they all take off. And so it all seems to be going well. Small cargo. Then we find out there's somebody else in here. His name is Blacktop Bill. And apparently he's got some kind of very powerful suit. And he might be a little on the evil side. He's actually looking for the grandfather because he discloses that the grandfather is the reason that we no longer have a son. So all in all, I'm sticking with this. It's a great story. The writing is intense. Really immersive. The artwork is wonderful in it. The colors are just spectacular. I'm not used to seeing things done so well color-wise. So it looks like they're taking their time with this book and they're coming up with what could be a masterpiece, but just really, really well thought out. You don't know what's going to happen next so far, and it's a recommend, obviously. So thank you for stopping by and listening to my review on Nocterra. I will be back for issue 2 in April, and let's see if we can get a copy or a cover shot for issue 2. There you go. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Please please subscribe if you haven't already. Please leave comments, and we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.